others.
Steve Bold. Winterburn. Bergkamp, put out by Kit Simons. Is there to be a late flourish by Arsenal? Beagrie on towards Quinn. Out through to Rosler. Just couldn't dig out the shot. And it took a marvellous intervening challenge by Steve Ball to deny Uwe Rosler, who is now doubled up in pain. Well, this is easily Manchester City's best raid of the second half. Quinn helped it through, and look at this challenge by Steve Bold. Arsenal was stretched here, make no mistake at all. And Steve Bold took man and ball. It looks like draw number 4 out of 5 for Bruce Rioch and Arsenal. And once again, Niall Quinn has given away a free kick. I think he's given away 3 now since he came on as a substitute. Dixon. Bergkamp to his right. Right! He scored! With just 3 seconds of time remaining at the end of the game, Ian Wright wins the game for Arsenal. Well, Dennis Bergkamp hasn't scored, but he's created this goal. And Ian Wright helps the ball past Ike Emil, who I think will have to shoulder some responsibility for allowing this header to move past him. And it's victory for Arsenal in the most dramatic of fashions. Ian Wright, who had a terrific shot in the first half, connected with Dennis Bergkamp's cross in the 90th minute to secure Arsenal a victory, only their second of the season. And Alan Ball has to stare defeat full in the face once again. The final score from Main Road: Manchester City 0, Arsenal 1.
Les Ferdinand may not be flavour of the month for England coach Terry Venables, but he's made an excellent start to his Newcastle career with 4 goals so far, the Premier's leading scorer. Newcastle were defending the country's last 100% league record, and although not at their most fluent, they still gave Southampton plenty of defensive work. Dave Besant on top form here to keep out Ferdinand. But Southampton's own persistent endeavour was rewarded on 65 minutes. A sublime pass from Matt Le Tissier let in Jim Magilton for only the second goal Newcastle have conceded this season. That's how it stayed for Southampton's first win. A reassuring sight for Tottenham fans was England winger Darren Anderton, starting his first game since recovering from a hernia operation. In the lead side was Gary Speed, who scored the winner for Wales against Moldova in midweek. 4 games without a win, Tottenham's start has been far from convincing, but they opened the scoring in this game on 27 minutes. Anderton's corner headed in from long range by David Howes. But 7 minutes into the second half, it was one apiece. That man, Tony Yeboah again, his 4th of the season, collected forcefully from a cross by the impressive Carlton Palmer. But midway through the second half, Tottenham served up what proved to be the winner. England striker Teddy Sheringham meeting a cross from Chris Armstrong to wrong-foot Lukic. Still, Leeds persevered and they almost saved a point. In the final minute, Yeboah hit the post. But Spurs held on for that important first win. For Leeds, the unbeaten run is over. Among England's successes against Colombia in midweek was Liverpool's Jamie Redknapp. He played impressively alongside Paul Gascoigne on his debut. But at club level, this wasn't to be his team's day, as Liverpool found Wimbledon as resilient as ever. Phil Babb, though, almost embarrassed goalkeeper Paul Heel. An extraordinary scene on 25 minutes then stunned the crowd. Wimbledon defender Andy Thorne clashed with Stan Collymore, and in his efforts to separate the two, Captain Vinnie Jones dived in typically in aggressive fashion. After much consultation, the red card was waved by referee Burge, and Thorne presumed it was for him. Not so, as it transpired. It was Jones who was sent off, and Thorne was recalled from the dressing room. The delay lasted a full 4 minutes, and when the match did resume, it was the 10 men of Wimbledon who went in front on the half hour. Ironically, it was from a free kick by Thorne, and it was an own goal. Babb, the unfortunate Liverpool defender. Liverpool mounted a wave of attacks. Collymore, on his return to the team after injury, struck the crossbar. But Wimbledon simply soaked it all up, with some crucial saves from Heel. Here he first deprived Robbie Fowler of a goal, and then eventually recovered to keep out the follow-up from Steve McManaman. Wimbledon stand third in the Premier, after this their third win in the first 5 games. With Tim Flower suspended after his sending off against Queen's Park Rangers, Bobby Mims was keeping goal for a Blackburn team whose hold on the title has been decidedly shaky in the opening matches. The prospect of Rovers' losing run being stretched even further was soon growing, thanks to a moment Villa's Yugoslav import, Savo Milosevic, will clearly treasure. The £3.5 million signing from Partizan Belgrade penned his first league goal on English soil with a glorious strike on 33 minutes. But while Alan Shearer's England goal drought continues, it's a different story at club level. Another perfect execution early in the second half to bring Rovers the equaliser. Shearer, indeed, was Villa's concern throughout. Mark Bosnich in the Villa goal rescued his team this time. The Rovers had to settle for a point. An entertaining game between two attacking teams first swung Coventry's way at Highfield Road. Brian Borrow supplying the cross for Dion Dublin's header. Mark Crossley had been totally stranded by that with just 10 minutes gone, and it was an even more glaring defensive error that led to Forest's equaliser 13 minutes later. Mind you, there was still plenty of work still to be done after Paul Williams' aberration, but then Brian Roy is a quality finisher. Coventry are showing plenty of flair under Ron Atkinson, and his capture for next to nothing of the Brazilian Isaias has raised many an admiring eyebrow. Just a few minutes into the second half, Forest fans had their first glimpse in a first-team shirt of the Italian Andrea Silenzi. He did well too, and will hope to be in the starting lineup against Malmo in the UEFA Cup on Tuesday. Coventry had more of the chances, but couldn't take them. This was Paul Telfer testing the reflexes of Crossley. 1-1 at Highfield Road. That's now 4 draws in a row for Nottingham Forest. Queen's Park Rangers have had a mixed start to the season, but the early signs were encouraging for them against Sheffield Wednesday. Rufus Breffett hitting the bar with Kevin Pressman beaten. But Wednesday were much improved in the second half and assumed control once Mark Bright had given them the lead on 55 minutes. This after a shot from Mark Pembridge had been deflected into his path. Bright then doubled Wednesday's lead on the hour. A fine volley from a cross by Romanian international Dan Petrescu. Rangers seem low on confidence now, and their problems were heightened with a third setback late on. A goal this time for O'Neill Donaldson on his first full appearance for Wednesday after Julian Watts had helped on a Pembridge corner. No way back for Rangers, who left the field to a chorus of disapproval. Nick Barmby took over from the injured Peter Beardsley for England on Wednesday and played so well that the Newcastle veteran may now find it hard to reclaim his place. Barmby was in the Middlesbrough attack for this meeting of last season's 2 promoted teams, and the home side were ahead on 24 minutes with an excellent goal from Scottish international John McGinley. But finally on 77 minutes, the leveller that Borough deserved. A delightful 1-2 involving Barbie that presented Craig Hignett with a chance to score. 1-1, it finished at Burnden Park. Southampton's defeat of Newcastle was the outstanding result from the weekend matches, along with Manchester United's success at Everton. Good wins too for Sheffield Wednesday, Arsenal, Tottenham, their first of the term, and for Wimbledon over Liverpool. Manchester City's third setback of the season means they're still bottom of the Premier, a point behind West Ham, who played Chelsea on Monday. Queen's Park Rangers are struggling on the evidence of Saturday's home defeat by Sheffield Wednesday, but Southampton, who played a game less than most of their rivals, have now climbed up to 15th. Newcastle, despite losing their 100% league record, are still top, but are now joined on 12 points by Manchester United, with Wimbledon, Leeds and Aston Villa heading the chasing pack. Arsenal are up into 6th spot with their win at Main Road. Room in for one half of Manchester, but not for United, whose thrilling win at Goodison Park was clinched by a goal that signalled the successful return of one of United's favourite sons. Kevin Keegan was idolised too as a player at Southampton, but there was no happy return for him. He's yet to win at the Dell as a manager, and the man he admires so much, Matt Le Tissier, helped ensure his day was spoiled again.